Hello, welcome to Mountain Gym Card Collectibles. Hope you had a great weekend. So today I want to talk about, something that everyone else is talking about. And what is that? Well, the Lemieux scandal, from Brett Lemieux. But what I want to focus on as well is why sports cards seem to lead so many people to the forbidden fruit of sports cards. Now, I'm sure you know the basic story of, Adam and Eve being tricked by the serpent to eat, this forbidden fruit. And then they were kicked out of the Garden of Eden. And right here it says, as a metaphor outside of the Abrahamic religions, the phrase typically refers to any indulgence or pleasure that is considered illegal or immoral. So my question is why does the sports card hobby attract so many immoral people? People that maybe they've been great their whole lives. They get a sports card and they turn into the Joker. It's just like an instant switch, So, this comes from Sports Collectors Daily. This was published on July 20th, 2025. And the headline reads, Mastermind of autograph counterfeiting scheme had been on radar of Indiana prosecutors for a decade. A decade. All right. Like here, it says right here, a location in Westfield connected to Lemieux 45 was raided on July 15th. Police had executed a search warrant that involved the investigation of a counterfeit sports memorabilia scheme. The next day, Lemieux was found unalived of a self-inflicted wound at a different property, which honestly, I don't know why this individual took it that far, because typically these people might get, a slap on the wrist, a little bit of jail time, a little bit of prison time, maybe a fine. It's just like, I'm not sure why he did what he did. I never agree with doing that. And like I said, I just feel like he likely would have just gotten a fine and a slap on the wrist, And if anything, he'd be hailed as a hobby hero. I'm surprised, you'd have the sports card brands going to this guy. Because let's face it, the sports card brands aren't much better. Anyway. Some people believe that Lemieux's numbers are inflated of, what he said that he did. Like it says here. Hours earlier, Lemieux allegedly admitted to the forgeries on social media in the long post now deleted on the Facebook Autographs 101 page. Lemieux stated the value of the cards and holograms in the residence was between $500 million and $700 million. That is a lot of money. This is right here. Lemieux claimed that he forged the holograms of the memorabilia industry's largest companies, including Fanatics, Panini, TriStar, James Spence, Authentics, and others. Okay. And then right here, we sourced it, signed it, certified it, and sold it all over the U.S. for 20 years. Okay. And then right here, last year, Sean Chalk, 58 of Fort McMurray, Alberta, a noted collector of Wayne Gretzky memorabilia, spotted auto pen signatures on a group of hockey pucks purportedly signed by Gretzky and sold by Lemieux's company. He asked the buyer to contact the FBI. Yep. But the thing about this is like it says here, and this is really the most atrocious thing of this whole incident. Lemieux had been on the radar of Indiana prosecutors since at least December 2012. That is when a complaint by the state attorney's office was filed against Lemieux individually in doing business as Ultimate Athletes, Inc. and Ultimate Sports Connection after it received 17 consumer complaints. Okay. And right here, Lemieux reached an $8,143.62 settlement with the state attorney's office on May 19th, 2013. And then there's a record of, the stuff, kind of going on, after that point. And it seems like Indiana just let the guy kept doing what he was doing, and that's really just one of the ugliest things about this. Okay. And we get into some of the type of jerseys. Autographed jerseys were purported to be authentic and signed by Montana, Des Bryant, Colin Kaepernick, Hank Aaron, Golden Tate, and Eli Manning. All right. And then here's another judgment against Lemieux where he had to pay restitution of $2,143.62 to 4 customers. I mean, it just goes on and on. Another injunction was issued on September 9th, 2015. Another file on May 29th, 2018. The court levied a fine of $15,107.89 against Lemieux. I mean, he has a full track record of doing this, you know. But then, you know, the more that you dig into this article, what I spotted was this. Mr. Mancave, the website Lemieux mentioned in his Facebook post, had thousands of alleged autographed items for sale, including jerseys, helmets, and other items, many promoted with certificates of authenticity and price much lower than what's considered current market value. And here I am always talking about COAs, certificates of authenticity. You know, obviously, they can just fraud those out as well, you know. Forgeries, whatever, counterfeits. Here we see, you know, some of the shirts. So we dug into that. And one thing that stood out is Mr. Mancave. All right. Mr. Mancave. So here I am at Mr. Mancave. And I'm just kind of digging into the site that, you know, Lemieux really put up a red flag about. Okay. Welcome to MrMancave.com. Select from your sport above. Okay. Let's just kind of go down here and see what they have. Baseball autographs. All right. Football autographs. Basketball autographs and hockey autographs. Okay, so let's look at some of the prices on this, huh? Here's a Ronald Acuna Jr., Freddie Freeman, Atlanta Braves dual signed autograph, official MLB baseball. $199 was $399. Is this a fake one? I mean, the price is really just, I mean, I could see why they're selling a lot of product. That's an awesome price, isn't it? Is this a fake one? I don't know. I can't claim that it's fake, if it's real. I mean, I just don't know, other than this site pulled up from this article. Let's look at this one. Kevin Costner, Bull Durham, Field of Dreams, signed autograph, official MLB baseball, Steiner Sports certified. I've only seen Field of Dreams probably at least 100 times. Is this the real deal? Or is this what they're talking about, a fake COA? And the thing is Brett Lemieux, he was kind of like giving red flags about this site. Now, this is Joe Burrow, LSU Tiger sign, autograph, speed, mini helmet, Fanatics, authentic, certified. Let's take a look at this. Is that COA real or not? That's a nice price. $219, huh? Not bad. What else do we have on here? All right. Greg Maddux, Chicago Cubs, signed autograph, MLB custom white jersey, Lojo Sports certified. $149. All right. I mean, I can assume that most of this is legitimate, correct? But, you know, Lemieux really brought it up in his article. Or in that article, you know, for his Facebook post. Let's look a little closer at what it says about Mr. Mancave. So right here, Fanatics has disputed Lemieux's online claims, okay? The Athletic reported Friday that the company had been investigating Lemieux's businesses for some time, with employees quietly conducting test buys of alleged autograph items and accounts set up by Lemieux in order to build a counterfeiting case to present to police in Westfield and to the FBI. Mr. Mancave, the website Lemieux mentioned in his Facebook post, had thousands of alleged autograph items for sale, including jerseys, helmets, and other items, Many promoted with certificates of authenticity and price much lower than what's considered current market value. That looks like the Maddox one I just pulled up, doesn't it? On Mr. Mancave? Lojo Sports Certified, $109. So let's see. The eBay account linked to the Mr. Mancave website had 21,000 items that were sold and 24 that were pending on the morning of July 17th. Oh, man. In a statement, eBay said that the site has zero tolerance for criminal activity on our platform and will cooperate fully with law enforcement as they investigate. Okay. And let's take a look at this Maddox jersey again. We see it there. Okay. We see the Maddox jersey there. Lojo Sports Certified. Are they legitimately still selling this stuff? All right. And there's a lot of the stuff. You know, I recommend going to Mr. Mancave and checking the stuff out. I mean, there is so much there I was looking at. But then I just typed in sports card fraud into Google to see what pulled up. And, you know, they have a good take, you know, counterfeit cards, altered cards, fake authentication documents, misrepresenting grades. The case of Curcio and Bondarchuk, forged signatures, you know. And then, you know, here's one. This came from June 10th, 2025. I mean, there's so many of these issues, you know. Michigan man sends 30 months for selling counterfeit fake sports cards, okay? For at least 30 years. I mean, 30 years, okay? All right. We have this Pittsburgh area man accused of stealing thousands of dollars worth of trading cards, you know, so that's just a straight up thief, you know. The California PSA sports card scam, the scam which originated in California involved selling high dollar counterfeit cards and legitimate PSA holders. I kind of remember that one. There's just been so many. And of course, you know, this Lemieux thing. Here's one. Elderly man ran a scam from 2015 to 2019. $800,000 worth of sports card fraud scheme. McNeil has, I'm guessing, pleaded something. So even if you're old, you got to get in on it, you know. I mean, I just don't get it. Like, here's one. Man jailed for collection of fake sports cards worth over, let's see, what's this? Worth over $7 million, you know. So, unfortunately, you have to kind of agree with me that the forbidden fruit of sports cards tends to just turn people almost like werewolves, you know, from good people to bad. I mean, maybe they were bad all along, but it's just like, what is it about sports cards that really just opens up the door for these people? And they just become, you know, like, you know, DC Comics, Marvel Comics, whatever, type supervillains, you know. And what gets me is how long the scams run, 20 years, whatever, or else how long, you know, that these people have a record of being caught. And they continually keep doing this, you know, like Brett Lemieux, for instance. He has a full, you know, record, police record of these scams. And for one reason, this was just like, you know, the big fish catch, you know, that they finally just got him with all the stuff. But then when you look at something like the website Mr. Mancave, I'm guessing a lot of that stuff's legitimate. But then, you know, you see stuff from the article, you know, like the stuff I went over. But overall, the problem with, you know, the sports card hobby community is just how it attracts the werewolves, how it attracts the scam artist. And I recommend just doing it for yourself. Go to Google, type in sports card fraud, and just cycle down. It's the never-ending story of just fraudster after fraudster. They obviously think that the masses of collectors are just a bunch of suckers, that we're not very bright. But I wish it would change. I wish that law enforcement would step in earlier so you don't have, these decades or even longer, investigations where they're just letting the stuff go for the most part. But if you have any different opinions on this, leave some comments. I'd like to thank my subscribers. You're the glue that keeps this channel together. All my recent subscribers, thank you for joining up. You really are helping out this channel. And if you haven't subscribed as a viewer, thanks for watching. And if you subscribe, it's 100% free. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. I'm out of here. Bye.